Hey there, real quick before we get into the episode, I just want to ask you a huge favor. As you know, this podcast isn't monetized, and I really hope to keep it that way. And so, what would really be awesome is if you did me the favor of passing it forward, paying it forward. Hit that share button if you want to share this particular episode, or share the entire podcast. Post it on your stories or in your social media, or share it directly with any individual that you might think would appreciate and enjoy this content. I really want to continue giving you value for free, sharing this information with you, because my mission is to help you on your journeys, right? And as I said, if you're finding this stuff helpful, chances are there's somebody else out there that will. So again, do me a quick favor, hit that share button, and let's get this message out. All right, on with the show. Media. And then what we also have ended up doing historically in the profession is try to convince those who aren't entrepreneurial minded to be entrepreneurial minded. Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers. And my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the ReDEFINE Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. For today's episode, I want to talk about mindset, and you'll understand why I'm following the last handful of episodes, which was all marketing and funnels and content creation. You'll understand why the conversation about mindset is really an integral piece of that. Obviously, as entrepreneurs, we have to have a certain mindset, and we'll get into that. But also, too, I think by the end of this episode, it'll really drive the point home of why the systems that I've been talking about, the marketing systems and the funnels, are really, really that much more effective than perhaps some of the old school ways of building your business. Now, I got to thinking about this particular topic because of, thinking about my own business, right? And I'm a network marketer. I'm building out a team with a very new way with the new marketing funnels and strategies that I was talking about. And so it got me thinking, okay, so what have we done historically in the network marketing profession? How have we built our business? Well, we've built our business looking for people who are entrepreneurial minded, right? As opposed to the employee-minded type people. The difficulty, I think, for our business in the old school way is that because only 1-2% of the population actually are have the proclivity and have the inclinations to be entrepreneurs and have those have those kind of mindsets. We then have to we have to sift through a lot of people, right? We have to talk to a lot of people in order to find those 1-2%. And then what we also have ended up doing historically in the profession is try to convince those who aren't entrepreneurial minded to be entrepreneurial minded. So it's an uphill battle, or at least it has been with the old school ways of building this business. Again, not to say that they're wrong or ineffective. They've obviously worked, and that's why they've endured. However, I think with the internet and social media and all the new tools we've been given, I think our efforts can be much more effective. And if we put our energy and efforts towards these front-end things and these marketing funnels and systems, then we'll get better results. And I'll tell you why. Now, the two classifications that I do want to talk about is the employee classification and the entrepreneur classification. That's the distinction that I want to get at. Again, from my business, I had to really go out there and try to find and sift through the entire population to find my entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, a rare breed, right? 1-2% of the population who have long-term thinking, right? Who can have the resilience of doing something that, number one, is going to take a super long time, and number two, where the results aren't guaranteed, right? So it requires a high level of resilience and risk aversion to be an entrepreneur. I mean, that's why entrepreneurial mindset is so important. Most of you that listen to the show are entrepreneurs, and you understand that. The employee mindset is one that relies on security, right? And I get it, right? Like, and this is why the majority of the population falls into this classification. The employee mindset is more short term, right? You're able to get a return on your effort pretty much immediately. So it's almost instant gratification. Also, it's a more secure return, right? It's relatively, I don't want to say guaranteed, but it's a lot more reliable, let's say, than trying to create an entrepreneurial income and build an entrepreneurial business, right? You can rely, for the most part, on getting that income on a regular basis, so that there's that security and that certainty, right? And so it's that security, the certainty, the predictability, the timeliness that really attracts most of the population, because we as human beings are naturally wired to seek security, right? We're wired against uncertainty, and our brains are designed to maximize survival, and survival really, from our mind's perspective, is really relies on security and stability, right? And so the certainty of being an employee is why majority of the people are attracted to that. Again, makes total sense, right? And again, no judgment. The problem then, of course, for network marketers and really for anybody is that as an entrepreneur, for the network marketing profession, we're looking for that 1%. And so it's been historically very difficult. That's been the uphill battle. And that's why success in network marketing, I think, has been reserved for that few who have the entrepreneurial mindset to stick it out long enough and to find other entrepreneurs. All well and good. However, as I mentioned earlier, now that we have the tools, the technology, the platforms that we have available today, especially through social media and content creation, that process can become much simpler, in that you can attract people to you who are already entrepreneurially minded, right? As opposed to sifting and sorting and having to talk to hundreds and hundreds of people and going to networking events and asking for referrals. With this kind of marketing, it's attraction marketing, right? You're actually attracting the type of audience that are more likely to have the characteristics, to have the mindsets, to have the traits of your ideal customer or of your ideal business partner. And so they're opting themselves in. The front end work isn't as much of networking and talking to people as it is just creating content, compelling enough content that's going to attract the audience that you're trying to attract, and for them to be able to opt themselves into your funnel. Really, really simple and so much more effective. I think rather put the effort in creating the content. I mean, that's just how I'm wired. Than going out there, every night for 5 hours a night and try to meet people at gas stations and talk to people at Barnes and Noble, or going to networking events and your local chamber of commerce type things. You know what I mean? Those, again, are all well and good. If you like to do that, have at it. But for me, I like to be able to work at home, right? I like to be able to sit at home, create content. I love the creative side of the content creation as well. And so, might as well play to those strengths and have the funnel, have the marketing system do that other heavy lifting for me in sorting out the people who I'm talking to. You got to forgive me. For those of you watching the video, I'm home. Well, I'm not home. I'm at my mom's place. So there's a lot of background noise. I think a motorcycle just went by. But I think you get the point, right? You get the point. The marketing system, because of these two classifications of mindsets, the marketing system, the work that you would have to put in without the marketing system is, I think, much harder, and it takes much more effort than creating content and putting this funnel together, right? That's why the funnel works so well, because again, people opt themselves in. And of course, this can apply to any kind of business that you're building, right? It's just getting clear on what kind of audience and who your ideal customer or business partner is, and tailor making your content around that, right? So that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully that makes sense. It was, for me, a good reminder, as I was kind of hashing out this episode and thinking about the different kinds of mindsets, it was a good reminder for me, and really validating why these funnel systems work so well and why I'm so attracted to them as opposed to the old school way, right? All right. So if you have any questions about that, of course, follow my new Instagram account. Let's connect over there. It shows you exactly the process, the funnel system, the type of content and that I'm putting out there. It's something that you can absolutely model, and you can see everything that we've been talking about in action. So go to Instagram. The account is Ronnie Cruz. I'll leave that in the link in the show notes, or the link. I'll put the link in the description of this video. Go check it out. That's why I really encourage you to follow that account, because it illustrates everything that we've been discussing in the last handful of episodes. So check that out. Hit me with any questions if you have any questions whatsoever, so that we can connect and we can get clear and get clarification around these different principles that we're talking about. And of course, more to come from me in the next episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.